Hey guys, it's Ari. So I decided to do a video on my adventures of trying to find black makeup in Japan. It's hard. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that first of all. Second of all, I think a lot of people when they think of beauty products, Asia in general is just kind of like the mecca of beauty products for skin, for cosmetics, for makeup, for hair. There is almost everything possible except dark makeup. um, and I guess a lot of people kind of assume that certain brands will actually carry over, like brands like Clinique. That's actually where I used to get my actual foundation from. But here, Clinique only goes as dark as like a light beige. They don't have darker ranges of makeup. And essentially what happened is kind of in the 90s, there's a particular style called Ganguro style. And that style actually means like black face, loosely translated. It's kind of like, it was an alternative fashion style that kind of boomed in the 90s, like late 90s and 2000s, and then quickly went out of style after that explosion because of the boom of Bihaku products, which essentially is beautifully white skin in Japanese, or the word itself. So you went from this one extreme of really dark makeup to really just light makeup and whitening products. So the style quickly went out of style, and it's actually kind of rare to find a girl who still practices Ganguro style. Even when we went to Harajuku, I only think I saw maybe 2 or 3 versus, you know, in the 90s or 2000s, it was a little bit more popular. So in essence, once that style kind of went out of style, it was even harder to find dark skin products in Japan. So I kind of looked at all these different websites. I looked at Clinique, I looked at Giorgio Armani, I looked at, what else did I look at? Oh, at MAC. And they didn't go but so dark. The darkest shade that they have is actually NC45, which a lot of black girls end up using, but I'm actually like a shade or two darker than NC45. So that being said, I couldn't really even use those products that were kind of on the websites. And I think MAC is actually the only site that I saw that goes the darkest in complexion. I myself, I'm not on the right or left of like the African American color palette. Like I'm kind of in the center. I'm a little far left of the center. So over here you have, you know, really light skinned girls who probably would actually have not as hard of a time finding makeup, but I will warn you, you're gonna look ashy as shit. That's just kind of what it is. Like I think most, not even in Japan, but a lot of brands in general, if you're a black girl, you know how difficult it is, even in the States, to find a product that doesn't make you look like hella ashy. It's just really difficult. So I think the best thing to do, oh, is it stopped? Okay. What the hell is going on with my, whatever. Okay, sorry, my camera's being weird. So, it's hard enough to find products in the States without you just looking hella ashy. So, in Japan, a lot of the color palettes are red based. So if you're a red based girl, even if you're lighter skin or darker skin, you might have a better time. I myself personally am yellow based black girl. So you can see my skin tone. I'm pretty yellow, like golden colored. So that's actually hard for me to find products in the States. So that's kind of what I had a difficult time today finding. Things that you'll be able to use in Japan besides like foundation, eyeshadow, abundant. Lipstick colors, if you're not really into pink, it's kind of harder. Like they don't have, I like really, really bold lipsticks. Right now you can see, it looks red, but it's actually bright ass orange. You can't really tell, but I have orange lipstick on. So I like really bright, vibrant colors. And Japan has some of those things. And I'm not afraid personally to wear bright colored lipsticks. So, but if you are, you might not find a more subdued brown. They don't really have stuff like that here. Unless you go to like a MAC. Mascara, hella abundant. Anything else that kind of goes on your face is abundant. Blush might be something harder to find. I'm a blush wearer, but if you like darker colors, most of the blush here is like a really, really light pink. So that might be difficult to find. But foundation, I guess is kind of the center of my particular video today. Where to find it, where I found mine, actual foundation. Most of the blogs that you'll see, or vlogs, or sites that you'll see when it comes to talking about finding black girl makeup, they're really talking about finding bronzer. Most of these girls are lighter skinned, which is not a bad thing. It's just for a darker skinned girl, where do you find makeup when you need makeup? Option 1. You can buy online. That's actually an option. For me personally, I couldn't buy online because of the particular type of card I have. Finding a credit card in Japan is really difficult, so something that's easier for most foreigners to have is a cash card. Cash cards only can be used to withdraw and deposit funds. They can't be used to buy things online. That being said, I'm currently trying to figure out the process of how to send money from my Japanese card to my American card. So once I figure that out, I'll let you guys know. But it's, from what I've read, it sounds like a really difficult process that costs like 50 bucks to do. It's a sending fee and a receiving fee that you have to pay. So it's actually kind of quite expensive. So if you don't have access to buy online, what do you do if you have to buy in store? So I went to this really cool place today. I'm gonna lie if I tell you if I remember what it's called. Hold on really quick. Let me find it in my bookmarks. It is called, hold on, I have so many. I feel like the anticipation is building. Let's see. Damn it. I saved it, but what is it called? Sorry, you guys. I'm an awful video planner. This is terrible. It is called, I don't want to say it wrong and then you guys never know what it's called. Haha! Subnade? Subnade? Can you see that? Of course not, because my camera is stupid. So S-U-B-N-A-D-E. Subnade. So it's kind of like a really huge, like, mega store, like department store that has everything, all kinds of really cool, wonderful stuff. I even found a wig store, which is like hella hard in Japan, don't know why, whatever. So they have everything, all your like girly needs, clothes, fashion, cosmetics, hair, everything. So when I went to this particular place, there's a store called Mitsuyoshi. So the store is actually a theatrical shop. And the way I found out about it, just a lot of just searching, looking, I went through the wormhole of the internet and just landed in cosplay wigs, which eventually took me to theatrical like places to find makeup. And long time ago, way back when I was in high school, which is actually really not that long ago, whatever. When I was in high school, actually I was in acting high school or performing arts high school for 3 years, which a lot of people don't know. But so I did singing, dancing, and acting. So a lot of the products that they had in their stores, I was actually quite familiar with. Sorry, I'm trying to find makeup. Okay, I was actually quite familiar with. So when I went there, they had certain brands like Makeup Forever, which is actually a really great, just even without it being like something that's used for stage, it's actually just a really good makeup brand in general. So they had Makeup Forever, they had Ben Nye, which I'm familiar with from acting. They had their own house brand, Mitsuyoshi, and they had a few other brands kind of in between, like Dermablend. So these are heavier makeup brands, but most of them, because they're for stage and because you sweat on stage, they're hypoallergenic, which is actually better than a lot of MAC products, which break me out after a while. So I found these products, and the range is actually quite large as far as skin tone. Now, a lot of these things are used for plays in Japan, and the darker makeup is actually used for, I wouldn't say blackface necessarily. Some of the actors featured in some of the pictures were in blackface, but I don't think that's what the content was. I'm pretty sure I was reading it out of content. So it's used for a variety of different things since it's for stage. But I ended up using it to my benefit and finding something that was my skin color, that was hypoallergenic, and it was a really creamy, a really nice feeling, and the best part is it wasn't expensive. Like, trust me, it's not expensive. When you compare it to how much I would spend at MAC, especially MAC Japan is more expensive than MAC back home, and Clinique as well. So this is kind of what I bought today. Can you see this? Mitsuyoshi. Okay, so this is what I bought today. It's a cream base, like a liquid cream kind of. It itself, I think, cost me 20 bucks, which is not bad, especially since I can't find this. Me trying to pay for this on any type of website, makeup website, plus the shipping doesn't make any sense, right? So I bought this. It's awesome. I have it on right now. It matches my skin tone. You know, I'm not ashy as shit or anything like that, which is great. And the best part is that I got this as well. So everything cost me about 40 bucks altogether. I actually got this loose powder. It's translucent powder. My camera's way too bright. Sorry, y'all. But I got this translucent powder that came along with it. So the whole set was 40 bucks. The clerks in the store were extremely patient, very sweet. I would suggest if you're living in Japan and you're not just black, if you're Hispanic, if you're black, if you're any other race besides Asian, you're having a really difficult time finding makeup, I would also suggest that speaking a little Japanese or coming with someone who speaks Japanese is actually ideal. The store clerk herself didn't speak English, so which is fine. I got to use my Japanese skills, and we actually were able to communicate with no issues. So I would actually recommend just bringing someone with you, because it's kind of hard to, especially if there's a language barrier. For us, it was okay, but if there's a language barrier, it's kind of difficult to find what color you're looking for in your shade. So that's my little advice for today. Also, I wanted to slightly brag and show these shoes that were 10 bucks, which I'm really excited about. I don't know if I'm going to leave the leopard or paint it or whatever, but they were 10 bucks, so I don't care. Whatever. I think that's it that I really had to share about makeup specifically in Japan. So yeah, I'm gonna start making other videos about other stuff and letting y'all know. So, bye!